fan face IGL on the blue side this time around. And of course, what we mentioned earlier before game number 1, they just need 1 point and they will qualify to the next stage of the competition. So let's see if they can bring this best of 2 series to a tie right here. As let's take a look quickly at the champions that they banned out. They have taken out Nora, Zeref, XY's Rek'Sai, Zotac 269, sort of sticking to the bans right here, taking out Janna, Jarvan, as well as Juani.
So let's note that Nelson has been replaced by Zappy in this game, so they are still playing with substitute jungler, but this time it's a jungler with a little bit more experience.
Yep.
Played on a top tier level before. We've seen him play for the IGL squad and the previous 2 seasons of the GPL already, and once again he's returning to this squad. And there we go, it's the first pick, Kha'Zix over here.
Yeah. And
rather interesting pick.
That's right. And for Zappy himself, of course, previously known as SGS Darkness, so has a lot of competitive experience. Shocked up on his own end.
Wait, this time it is the Rengar being picked up by 269.
The hunt is
and
on.
The hunt is on, and I definitely do hope we get to see the crest being popped over there. That will definitely be highlight material. And we have the Leona being picked up alongside that as well. It's going to be once again a hard engaged composition from 269. They definitely have been practicing with the Leona. Let's see if IGL... Looks like they're going to go for the Morgana. Morgana against Leona, very decent.
Yep.
Very strong counterplay with the Black Shield to stop out the Giant Laser from the sky, the Solar Flare, as well as the Shield of Daybreak from coming in. It looks like they might be going for Severe here for Insidious Gaming Legends, or they're hovering over Draven right
I would
now.
love to see Draven though.
I definitely would like to see Draven. It's quite a strong lane bully. I do believe we've seen this being played a few times. We saw it. Did we see the LCK?
Yeah, I believe, yeah, we saw it in the OG and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, you know, back to the pick and ban phase. So it will
Never
be
mind
the
about Draven. So
yeah, it will be the silver locked in for Valkyrie this time around. And the thing I really like about this Kha'Zix going up about Rengar thing is that if you take a look back into game number 1, it was so close between these 2 teams as well. So there is going to be a high chance that that quest is going to be popped if it's going to roll out the same way that game number 1 did. So Zotac 269 looking to perhaps replicate their success from game number 1. And I have to say though, they had some very impressive early game plays here. Then again, they kind of dropped the ball in the mid-game stages and finally got back to it during the late game. And it was all thanks to the skilling from both Beyond as well as Chrom with that Poppy and that Azir pick that sort of just worked out for them. And this time around, I'm curious as to seeing what they will choose for themselves. They're hovering over that Kassadin as well as Graves. So if that's going to be the case, then, you know, Celebrity is just going to fall back to one of his old comfort picks.
So once again, it is the skilling solo laners coming in from 269, as well as the jungler that kind of skills as well. And they have the kill lane in the bottom lane with the Leona as well as Graves. Lots of burst damage coming in, but it's up against the Sivir as well as Morgana. We have seen that IGL were able to shut down the aggression pretty well on their side. And they're hovering over Heimerdinger over here. Our he's put it out a few times before, but I mean, IGL, they have always been trolling us with these picks. I doubt it will be the Heimerdinger.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And the thing about Beyond is that while he did play a couple of Assassin games, he did play 1 Kassadin prior to this one, and having 1 RE game under his belt as well, hasn't been playing a whole lot of Assassins in this current meta where it's Assassin heavy, and especially in the 5.1 patch. So let's see how he's going to play that one out a little bit as IGL kind of round up their composition for now. Would say if they go for the Lissandra as well as that composition, it will be extremely strong in terms of lockdown and, you know, damage output itself.
Well, this will be very interesting, 269, if they go for Lulu over here. They would have a very strong tool set and champions to deal with whatever IGL will be looking for. So in this is IGL, they are looking for the assassinations, they're looking for the resets. They're running triple assassins, Lissandra, Zed, as well as Kha'Zix. So 269, I do believe Lulu in the mid lane here will be a very strong pick. Send the Kassadin into the top lane so that he can duel it against Lissandra. And they can have the Lulu in the mid lane, which kind of shuts down Zed as well. It looks like they're going to be going for it Azir once again. Beyond rather confident with his abilities on the champion.
Ooh, sort of switching things up again.
Oriana's fine as well. Definitely Lulu gives you the most safety margin against the Zed, because no matter how you miss micro against the Zed, so long as you drop the Wild Growth, follow it up with the Glitter Lens, Zed won't be able to do too much to you.
Yeah, I was talking to Wolf about this the other day as well, when you know, you kind of compare between both Lulu as well as you know, Oriana in this situation. We both kind of agreed that we would prefer that Lulu, but then again, if you can sort of time your, you know, the wind up time for the command shockwave, it's going to be a much more devastating effect. as compared to the Wild Grove itself. So looks like this time around, Zotac 269 is gonna toy around with that, Oriana concept once more. And I think this time around, it is a much more, I think in that sense, you get this bigger threat coming through now that they have the Kassadin, the Leona, as well as the Rengar on the side. So 3 means for you to have that ball delivery system up, sorry. So Zotac 269, they have to sort of play around that, but I personally am not a big fan of the Oriana pick in the current split. I mean, in the current, meta game so far.
I actually think it's pretty fine because you got rid of the Rengar, and Rengar together Oriana, Youmu's Ghost Blade, have the command dissonance, jump onto the players, land the shockwave, grab everybody together, have the Leona follow that up with the Solar Flare as well. It's kind of a wombo combo, and then Kassadin can just go in with the cleanup, collateral damage for the extra punch of damage that they need. And IGL, they have to be very careful because they don't have a lot of solid tanks that will be able to tank up that amount of burst coming in. They have the Lissandra, who will be able to Frozen Tomb herself in such a situation, but the rest of the members, they have to be very careful. Zach can kind of find outplay scenarios with the Death Mark, but Kha'Zix, Morgana, as well as Sivir, 3 very squishy targets for the wombo combo of 269 to focus on.
Yeah, that's right. And just a quick history lesson for you, J-Storm. Do you know who is the first team to bring out the Rengar and Oriana combo?
I'm going to be guessing it should be IG.
No, not really. Okay, let me give you a hint. They were once part of the GPL.
Sounds like something AHQ would do.
Actually, it was Taipei Assassins back in Season 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when they, it was at a point where they just won, Season 2 World Championships, and then they came with this combination where Stanley was still playing, Rengar on the top lane, then you combo that with Toys, jump into the heart of the battle, and it was also at a point where Rengar tended to build a lot more tankier than they are now, so not quite the assassin-like champion like he is now, but just this huge tanky top laner that split pushes all day. So he would just get that ball onto him, jump into the heart of the battle, and he would suck up a lot of damage and then pull off that shockwave in, and that's how they start the fight. So I think Zotac 269, they pretty much would have known, how that's going to work out for themselves. And IG Legends, I think, this time around going for a double assassin composition this time around, they have a lot of on their mind though, because if you look at Graves overall as a champion, what's the most ideal setup for him is that he would want to go for very squishy targets, and that's the exact lineup that ISG Legends have right now. So I really think that they have to work around that and try to go for the flanks and take him out as quickly as possible before that collateral damage hits.
I mean, here's the thing, when you're playing Sivir for IGL as well, you want to be playing that with more tanky champions. It's like in the start of Season 4, we saw lots of that. I do believe Jungle Olaf is making a resurgence as well. The Olaf, Shyvana with Sivir, popped on the hunt, have all these tanky targets run into your opponent's face. But this time we're not really seeing that much of it. It's lots of assassins, there's lots of initiation from them. And I do believe Sivir is just a cheat card for them. It's like, okay, we found them, they're in the lethal range already, I need the initiation onto them. My warding hasn't been up to par, my positioning hasn't been up to par, that's fine. On the hunt, gets me there, and I go in for the assassination.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see if that's going to be the case for, of course, ISG Valkyrie, who's going to be the one to sort of start the fights for ISG Legends in this situation. And then again, talking about the substitute coming now for ISG Legends, Zappy, talking about him having a lot of competitive experience. But then again, haven't been seeing him in the scene for a long time already. And I wonder if, the Kha'Zix pick is because he's more familiar with the champion, so kind of moving back to his old glory days and, saying, that's the best champion that I can think of that I can play so far. So, bringing that out of the closet, because I don't think Kha'Zix is that great of a pick in Season 5 jungle. You do have that little bit of sustain from the voice spikes, but that's about it. You do snowball quite hard if you get to that stage, but if not, you're just going to jump into the fight and get squashed like a bug.
I mean, Kha'Zix does snowball very hard, and that's his strength right now. Because of the changes to the way the trinkets work, he's able to farm really quickly in the jungle with the Ranger's Trailblazer, and we are going to see lots of turbo farming coming in from Zappy in this scenario. So a little bit of an upgrade this time. Previously they had a Platinum player, now they have a Diamond player with the rest of the Challenger borders. Let's see how well Zappy will be able to do the Kha'Zix. Now speaking about the Kha'Zix once again, never mind about that, we are into the game. 269, they will be spawning on
the red side.
And on the blue side, we will be having Insidious Gaming Legends. So this is going to be, if we are going to see if 269 will be able to just leapfrog ahead of against KLH, or will it be IGL who secures the spot in the next round of the GPL.
Yeah, we do have a bit of time. You were making a point about Kha'Zix, and I'm quite interested to listen to what you have to offer.
So previously, Kha'Zix, the way they were built, it's like they would go for W. They would max W, and they evolve that as well. So they go for a very poke style of Kha'Zix, and we see Yankos and some of the Korean players, they wouldn't so much as gank. They just move into lanes, create lots of lane pressure, poke down their opponents, and take objectives, and create lots of map space once they were able to pick up the first set of items. But now Kha'Zix, I do believe he should be going for the maxing the Q, so that he's able to get the evolve claws as well, so that he's able to win duels in his opponent's jungle, as well as create fights if his opponents find themselves in isolated positions. So I do believe this is what IGL setup is going to be. They're going to have split pushing in the form of Rune, and they're going to have Zappy as well as LY for wait in the back and catch up whoever who comes to respond to Rune.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the ideal setup for ISG Legends. They want to be the ones to sort of collapse around in a 360 dimensional sort of a team fight against Zotac 265, because if you charge at them towards a straight line, it's just going to be easy setup for Beyond to land a command shockwave. And interesting, pick up for Chrom this time around. If you look at his past track records, he's gone for very skirmish type champions, the likes of Poppy, the likes of say Gnar, and those sort of champions. But this time around on Kassadin, now very curious as to see what kind of build he's going to go for. Is he going to go for the traditional AP style assassin, Kassadin, or are we going to see something different for him? Perhaps like an AD, Kassadin that we have seen some of the Korean players sort of brought out from the cabinet, and surprising their opponent with those sort of itemizations. So we'll have to see as the game progresses, as Zappy as well as Heaven will be starting in their own camps respectively. Zappy's going to start on the red side though, so should be looking to finish the 3 camps very, very quickly and then go back to base to buy their first upgrade of the Shadow.
Actually, I would have preferred a Zappy starter on the raid buff itself, because that would provide him a little bit more options against the Orianna in the mid lane, because Orianna early on, if she goes for the command attack and maybe into command defend, or in fact if he's able to find an early gank, if Rune is able to zone Beyond away from that level 1 early on, if he's able to just get the raid buff early, get level 2, he might be able to put some cheesy ganks in the mid lane. And getting the Krux early doesn't really speed up your jungling path that much faster, especially because most people are just going to be doing 3 camps and then returning back. But the fact that he went for the Krux, he's going to go for the raid buff, go for his group up, and then make a recall and pick up his item. So he's not going to be making any lane presence and all, and just going for the hyper farming Kha'Zix.
Well, we'll see what's going to be the case, and Rune quite comfortable in the mid lane against this Orianna matchup on this Zed. Of course, his second time playing Zed this time around against Zotac. In fact, the first time that he brought out Zed was against Zotac as well, so Beyond have had a taste of his Zed mechanical skill plays, and Rune will be looking to replicate that result the first time around they met.
Definitely, and already IGL showing the mechanical proficiency, winning out in the mid lane as well as in the bottom lane in terms of CS numbers. But in the top lane, however, Chrom finds himself ahead of LY4. Now here's the thing, while Kassadin, previously he used to be very weak in the laning stages, if he's up against an AP opponent, his ability to show himself and win trades makes him very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, so very interesting dynamic that Chrom decided to break out. And we're kind of talking about ISG Legends being the one to outdraft Zotac 269 in the previous game by sort of having that Lulu. We thought that it's going to go into the mid lane, but instead did go up to the top. And LY4 had a fun of a time, had a hell of a time in fact, snowballing his own champion in that scenario. But this time around, it was Chrom that sort of surprised us a little bit by being the one to control the Kassadin now. And gonna expect to see some pretty interesting results coming from him.
Oh, there we go. It is the Frozen Clock coming in. Heaven tries to make a return trip around. The mind games coming from Alwood for suggesting there might be a jungler in the top side. In fact, deters Heaven from going for the all-in. So rather interesting decisions coming in from both teams over there.
Yeah, if you think back about game number 1 as well, IGL wasn't doing too bad in the lanes itself. It's just because of the fact that Heaven's kind of out-rotated Nelson in that situation, so he was unable to kind of recuperate in the early stages. Let's see how much Zappy is going to contribute in the first few minutes or so. And so far, it looks like IGL does have a much better time as compared to game number 1 in the first few minutes or so. And speaking about the mid lane, Rune is out CSing Beyond quite hard.
definitely. Look at that, 15 CS, and in fact now we see Zappy just moving into his opponent's jungle and getting some counter jungling done. The D-wards all placed down by IGL, so they're going to be able to spot out Heaven when it comes in for this. Is he going to be finding Zappy in the jungle over here? He does proc the Oracle Sting. Oh, he doesn't even get to see this ward in this case, but nonetheless the ward placed down by Celebrity as well as Sir will spot out the Kazakhs exiting his jungle, and he knows that the grub has gone down. In fact, they're going to go on to Raper in this case. Not really sure if that was the best idea from the 269 bot lane duo.
Yeah, very interesting use of that Kha'Zix pick right here. So, Kha'Zix is one of those champions that can clear camps out very quickly, like you mentioned. And Zappy this time around is...
It's the mid lane, yep, again going on, and Beyond dropped down pretty low in this case. When he is able to hit the level 6, should be able to go in for the all-in. Beyond detecting that this is a dangerous curve, but it makes his second recall of the game.
My goodness. Yeah, he's just gonna drop back so far in terms of the experience, curve itself, and I think Zappy definitely making a much bigger impact than what Nelson had in game number 1, and that's gonna relieve a lot of pressure, especially for Rune, and he's gonna be the one to actually carry the game throughout if this situation continues.
Now the hole in the mid lane is just growing bigger and bigger for 269 to deal with. We already see Rune at 22 CS hit, and he is level 6 as well. But here comes the response. Zerg will want to be going in for this one. Rune trying to go for lethal here, but he misses a whole bunch of spells. And here comes Zerg from the sideline. He already has used the shadow. Rune in a whole bunch of trouble. The death mark is spot, but he doesn't have the spells to back it up. Exhaust is dropped as well, and Beyond picks up the kill for the first blood.
Yeah, very unfortunate situation for Rune in that case. Everything was going so well for them, but what happened was that the lackluster vision control coming out from IG Legends did cost him his advantage in the mid lane. So that's going to relieve so much pressure from Beyond in that situation. And we're kind of talking about him. He's one of the guys who still play mages. Or before that, bit of skirmish happening down the bottom lane. Rapier and Celebrity just trading blows.
Duck Binding tries to go on a Zerg in that case, but IGL nothing sneaky enough, unable to pull it off. And once again, CS deficit. Valkyrie as well as Rapier just winning this bot lane outright without any jungle help at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they will be looking forward to. But up in the top lane though, we do see LF4 kind of struggling a little bit against Chrom in this situation. So they might want to send some help to sort of balance things up once again.
Oh, Chrom goes and he gets the Ring of Frost, however, but he's able to just simply out-create LY4 with the magic shield. He's able to crew from himself, and with the catalyst, the moment he hits the additional level, as we see him hitting level 7, he just immediately heals up so much of it. Now this matchup is really difficult from Lissandra's perspective, because you're always consistently forced to make decisions. Do you use your Q for CSing, or do you use it to try to cast in the mid-one at the bottom? Here comes the teleport. So Drawback really low already, but Alpha comes in with the first response casted, not making any effects at all. And it will be Celebrity who falls in this case. Is Ripper gonna go for another one? The Boomerang gets the last bit of damage on the Zerg, but they are able to pick up the kill for themselves. Excellent teleport mechanics coming down from IGL's LY4 to secure the kill for his team.
Yeah, so when you are kind of losing out on the matchup, what do you do to sort of make best of the situation? You teleport down to the bottom lane and make your impact felt globally throughout the map. And not too sure what happened. Well, hold on in the mid lane.
Oh, one last auto attack will be able to do it for Rune. Not enough, and they just take each other out. And Rune slays Beyond, but the command defense will be able to take it out. Then goes in onto Chrom, and this is the strong Kazakhs with the max tail Q. Goes in and simply tastes his fear as he chops the Void Man to pieces.
Yeah, I believe he did level up the Void spikes though, so I think it was just the straight up isolation damage that he had to sort of clean up that team fight. And the thing is that we didn't see Captain build any armor whatsoever, so like you gotta respect the isolation damage to Kazakhs.
Oh, they find the ward over here. Is 269 going to commit to this one? They start up on the dragon itself, but they had a little slight delay. And here comes the rest of the IGL squad. They're looping around the backside. Will they be able to steal this one to force the fight here? The Dark Binding doesn't land onto anyone just yet. The spike comes in and the Wraith team secures the dragon for themselves.
That's so Zotac 269. First one to break the silence on global objectives, takes the first dragon for themselves. But not too bad for IG Legends. They will have the timing off of that one to try to challenge for the subsequent one that comes back up, sorry. So not too bad of a loss whatsoever.
A little bit of downtime here, but this might just explode at any time because we know how explosive this lane can be, and we all have seen how aggressive Sir as well as Celebrity are just simply just going on and hoping Rapier misses the back tree. And I have to say, props to Rapier. 10 out of 10 so far. I don't think he has missed a back shoe so far.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about Rapier overall as a player is that he was #1 in the Southeast Asian solo queue leather in Season 4, as we do see him kind of struggling a little bit against the, you know, the Crux here, but will be able to bring himself back up for health with the 5 stack.
I really love the flavor of this game as well. It feels like a very rich dish. You have, in terms of storyline, you have the Void Man, you have the Void Monster, and you have the Void Monster's Predator, Rengar himself, all in the same game.
Yeah, and you just kind of need Nar to sort of wrap things up. And if you remember the time when Nar was first released, his storyline was kind of tied closely with Rengar as well. And fortunately, it was banned on this game and will not be seeing him play.
Oh, once again, Rune goes on to Beyond, but Beyond just trading back and forth. Oh! There we go, it is the Death Mark, and he doesn't even wait for the last block as he just slays Rune on the spot.
So the first time Rune went on to Beyond, he dropped the kill to Beyond because of the search intervention. Second time around, he took too much damage from the Ergo, and you know, looks like third time's the charm for the assassin. I mean, for Rune in the mid lane.
I have to say, it looks like Beyond isn't that familiar with Orianna because he could have timed that shortwave timing, but meanwhile the bottom, and there we go, is the Wombo combo. Immediately the Kha'Zix falls already, but they do get the return kill to Orianna. Here comes the caster in front of the back line. Heaven is chasing onto the Silver. He goes in onto Rapier subsequently, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
Yeah, but the members from Zotac 269 still very healthy in this situation. Will we see the trade for turrets though? We do see LY4 just shoving up in the top lane itself and kind of proxy farming for a little bit, but I think they should be able to trade the turret 1-for-1 in this situation. So not too bad on the side of IG Legends, still maintaining the goal lead here. LY4 not pushing out the lane. No, gonna recall, so
I'm gonna take note of this timing over here because 12 minutes. The caster recalls a Rod of Ages. 22 minutes, that will be fully skilled up. And that's when IGL, they have got to start to be a little bit more careful of Crom's casting because that's when he gets the stats he needs. He really starts being the really irritating casters. He just jumps in your faces, tanks up some damage, slows down your entire team, and makes life really difficult for the IGL squad.
And of course, talking about scaling, that's going to be Crom's game to sort of watch out for.
Sir getting caught out here. Looks like Rune is he gonna be going in for this one. He does have the Orianna, the command protect though. So will not be falling in that situation.
Yeah, rather interesting choice for Valkyrie now that I noticed. Starting to go for the very early brutalizer. So wanting to hit that mid-game power spike a little earlier to sort of combat out the team fighting capabilities from Zotac 269 in this situation.
So now Zotac 269, they're just content to continue to farm and let the Cassidy skill, let the Orianna skill a little bit more. But they have to start to wonder, how do we deal with this Zed in the middle of Celebrity gets caught out, and there we go! Oh, the assassination goes down to Circle with the next one to fall. He drops the solar flare in response. Beyond trying to find a return kill, but it seems a little bit beyond his reach.
Wow. Wordplay intended?
Definitely indeed. And I have to say, sometimes it's just beyond me to avoid making these puns.
Well, I guess it's in everyone's blood once in a while. So the thing about you know, Rapier right there, it's sort of the Rapier that we're a bit more accustomed to seeing. He's the one stepping up for the team now and being the one to sort of start the fights off with the dark findings. And we can expect to see more of that.
Our just posturing forward with the Glacial Path from Trapping to go into Beyond once again. He has a blue burst, so he's low on mana. He should have enough to sustain him through. Dark Biting coming once again from Rapier. They're trying to find a pick onto Beyond as well. IGL just stepping on the aggression and trying to pressure 269 around the map. Currently 63 and 274 to hit the 14 minutes.
Rexer gonna do a little deboarding, and Dragon's gonna come back around in a minute's time or so. And looks like Zotac 269 is currently the one to play the vision game around the area. IGL does have a few remaining wards to sort of maintain some basic vision control around the area. Now the difference is that LF4 does have his teleport ready and available.
Oh, we might see a fight over here, but the 80 carries recording Solar Flare doesn't land onto anyone. Zorak has caught up, and here comes the response by LF4 as well. Is he gonna lock Zorak down with the Ring of Frost? But there goes the response. Oh, command Shockwave only lands on the Rapier. LF4 with the mechanics from now on the chase. He lands to slow the multiple members. Rapier chunk down low. Are they gonna go for the chase?
Oh!
Crom flashes across. Is he gonna get the execute? He gets on the Rapier. Crom doing so much damage. He turns on the Valkyrie right now. The Wrangler ulti is on. And looks like 269 will pick up a kill for all their trouble.
That's right, and I'm not sure if they will stick around to take the mid lane turret. I don't quite think so. Rune a bit late to the party though.
And here's the thing, when you oversaturate an Assassins, it makes these messy 5-on-5 teamfights very difficult for the team, because Assassins usually want to go in to kind of clean up or just go in for a pick after someone has landed some form of crowd control. So in this case, IGL, they only kind of have one way to go in, and that is for Rapier to land a Dark Binding, or else all the rest can do is kind of throw poke from the back lines, and LR4, yes, the Ice Shard has got some decent damage on it, but it doesn't really have the most fantastic of range. I do believe it's only 685 if it does shatter, and the Kha'Zix has about 700 range, I believe, with the Void Spike. Yeah, and it's not even maxing deck anymore.
Exactly, and the thing about Lissandra is that while she has a huge amount of burst damage coming through for herself, a lot of teams nowadays in the competitive gaming scene has sort of used Lissandra more of a initiation champion, a champion to just jump into the backline, use the Frozen to buy some time for the rest of the teammate to catch up. And in that particular team fight in the mid lane, LR4 used the Frozen Tomb to protect himself from that command shockwave. So a lot of that initiation was lost on that part.
But here's the thing, whether you use the Frozen Tomb on yourself or on somebody else, damage is still the same. It's just that if you use it on an opponent, he's stunned for 1.5 seconds. If you use it on yourself, you get a Zhonya's Hourglass for 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, but the thing is, you use it on himself, but no one around Zotac 269, so they can just waited for that cooldown to come back around, and then they can just cut back into the fight.
This might be another huge fight. Is 269 gonna pull the trigger on this one, or they just rush down the middle lane instead? Looks like they want to go for the turret instead. So 269 not really that willing to go for this major engagement, is trying to trade objectives in this situation.
Yep. And I feel like what IGL really needs to do is to step up on their vision game a little bit, because when you're playing such an assassin heavy team, what you can do is to collapse onto your opponent team from multiple directions, but we haven't seen that so far from IG Legend here.
Oh, and now 269 once again in the mid lane. They definitely want to pick this up for themselves. Rune tries to get split push started, but he sees all this mess in the mid lane, and he immediately is forced to respond. Will he be able to get the flag, to get the turret? The Glacier Claw is not followed through, and LR4 isn't going to be going for the initiation just yet. They might find the Zed over here. Heaven might jump onto him, and there we go! The Bola lands onto him. Chrome comes in with the follow-up. It's a stab up onto him, but is it enough to finish him off? The answer is no. Collateral damage doesn't land onto anything. Oh, Heaven tries to go in for him. Is he able to find Rune? No! Zapping turns around, takes a spear. Once again, the Kha'Zix right on point. Kha'Zix 1, Wrangler 0.
Yeah, Heaven was just too greedy with that, jump onto Rune in that situation. And before that, though, I was a bit confused on to what IG Legends decided to do there. They knew for a fact that the mid lane was pretty much undefendable. They sort of wanted to stick around the area, perhaps trying to find a kill, but they just gave away the turret for free. And they're trying to recuperate here, trying to take the dragon, but Zotac 269 has regrouped already, so they might even have to give this objective up as well.
Oh, 269, are they going to go for this one? Over close, so much damage coming. He does choose to freeze himself up. Now the dragon, what will he be going for? They turn around, 269, 200.
Oh, wow!
The Soul Shackles coming from Raven, doing so much damage. Now Chrome in a whole bunch of trouble. Celebrity just chucking back and forth. Is he able to get this one? Taste his fear. One last shot. Rune spins the wins as it picks up the last kill.
That's right, it says 3 for 0 right here. Heaven still sticking around the corners for now. It's going to be Rune as well as Valkyrie, as well as Zappy, in fact, going to start himself as a dragon here. Zotac 269, no choice but to give up this dragon this time to IG Legends. So both teams at 1 dragon apiece, and I have to say it was Rapier that carried out, that carried that team fight right there. 3-man Soul Shackle at the perfect position and bought enough time for the rest of the IG Legends squad to come in to actually clean up the team fight.
I have to say though, Chris, that was a train wreck of a disaster there for 269. They went in there. It was a mistake first for having to go in, and they continued to stick around in a 4v5 scenario, and they got punished for it because the calls weren't on point. They tried to contest the dragon, then they weren't too sure if they should start it up or not. LR4 went in with the engagement. They missed a few spells onto him, but they couldn't decide whether to stay around to finish him off or back off. So they stood there for an entire second doing absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And as a result, the rest of the IGL squad were able to collapse into them.
Right, so we have a small pause right now Not too sure what's the situation. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can. Of course, let's quickly break down what's happening so far in the game. And I feel like the decision for Zotac 269 in the Dragon Pit earlier is kind of reminiscent of what happened in Game No. 1. So you can sort of identify the fact that Zotac 269 might not have the best shot calling decisions in the mid-game stage, perhaps not understanding their own power spikes, and like you mentioned, Crom picked up a 12-minute Rod of Ages, so haven't got that fully stacked up as of yet, and you know, for that they give away some more advantages back to IGL Legends to come back and work around with.
And now IGL, they're hanging around their own side of the map as well. Looks like they're choosing to slow down the game to split 1-3-1. They know they have taken the lead over 269, and now they're trying to put pressure on the map with this 1-3-1 split push. Oh, the Wisp there, it doesn't find the Z. So really doing a good job of dodging around, and here
Yeah, they do know though.
Is he going to get the execute onto him? There we go. Is it going to be the Death Mark? Come on, Shockwave misses. Come on, Beyond. And there we go. The last part of the Death Mark as well as the Shuriken is the solo kill as Rune just moves in and picks up the kill onto Beyond.
Well, this time it was Rune that was Beyond's reach.
I mean, that was kind of
I know you're
bad play coming from Beyond. He went in there, he knows that there's a Z on the opponent team, and Rune has been repeatedly showing ball in so many times. Yeah, he still walks for it and puts himself in such a vulnerable scenario, and Rune just gets the easy kill onto him.
Yeah, that's why IGL Legends going to capitalize off of that, taking out the mid lane turret.
Oh,
LI4!
That's not the end of it. He goes in onto the turret, but this might be a mistake on this spot. Here goes the rest of the team, and immediately Celebrity picks him up as well. Zappy now the next focus. The Rengar ultimate, where is it? Oh, looks like Crom will be the one to chase her on. The Hunters used to disengage in this one. So mistake after mistake. First, it was Beyond's turn to make a mistake, and then IGL overcommit to a turret dive. In the bot lane, come on, Observer. In the bot lane, they're fighting the Z, and they do get the kill as Beyond and Crom slay him as he tries to finish the turret.
You know, I really could, you know, I really wish you guys back at home can see what's going on at the caster's desk right now, because if I were to make myself into an anime character where I'm at the stage, oh hold on now, so it does get taken down though. So yeah, before that I was saying that if I were to put myself in a cartoon character right now, I'll be one of those guys with like hundreds of question marks is just floating around my head. Why would LI4 dive under the turret though?
I mean, I have to say that was just the team getting a little bit greedy on their part. They didn't respect their opponents, and as a result, they just went to ham and they got punished as a result of it.
Yeah, and even down at the bottom lane as well, we did see Rune sticking around for far too long, having no information on where Crom and Beyond was. Crom and Heaven was. So, gonna be able to pick up yet another easy set of kills. So, IGL Legends having a 4,000 goal lead here. Not too sure what they're going to do to try to close up and try to extend this lead further as well. So
now 269, they find themselves in the back foot right now. They still have the skill in the form of the casting, they still have the skill in the form of Rengar as well as the Orianna Wombo combo, but they definitely have to be more careful when they approach the rest of the game. They have to find better engagements of their opponents, and they have to approach it in a more measured way. They can't just simply keep on making the mistakes, keep on letting Rune Z find people while he's split pushing. They need to punish him, get the man advantage, collapse onto it, and punish IGL when they rotate poorly.
Alright then, so IGL Legends looking to regroup once again. They do have a substantial amount of wards around the river area. Hasn't been able to get that in the deep jungle region for Zotac 269 though, so a bit hesitant on whether they want to sort of push around the lane a little bit. Beyond getting caught in by the Dark Binding, taking a fair chunk of damage from the Boomerang Blade that's thrown by Valkyrie as well. So this might be the signal for them to sort of siege up here, but they have to be extremely careful. Quite difficult to dive against a Leona in this situation. Rune's gonna make the rotation down into the bottom lane. Perhaps trying to find a pick here. Crom does spot him out for now.
There we go. Rune just lands the chunk down to Fire Tree, and to Yomu's goes dead as well as the build Rune can complete it. Those are the power spikes Zed is looking for, and IGL, they're definitely pushing it at the moment, splitting 4-1 and creating havoc all over 269 side of the map with 6,000 gold lead in their favor right now.
Right, so IGL Legends to pick up the mid lane second tier turret, so expanding their map presence a little bit. And Zotac 269 now, they had a couple of moments of brilliance right here, but it is still IGL firmly in control for now. 30 seconds, 25 seconds for the next Dragon respawn. What is the call for IG Legends now? We did see LY4 as well as Rapier sort of go back to base. Will they be back in time though? Because Zotac 269 is already around the Dragon Pit area.
Now here's the thing, 269, they need to force the fight, they need to force it quickly before Rooney is able to, and there we go, as I mentioned, LR for a whole bunch of trouble, Chrome goes in, Crasher damage, so much pain! Oh, Zappy, will he be able to make anything of this Raper? Now the focus, Raper is gonna go down, double kill on the Celebrity, the Z, just split pushing away into bottom lane. Is Rune able to do this one? Is he able to take the turret? Oh, Rune's gonna... There we go.
Ghostblade.
50%. Ghostblade chunking away. The creeps will be falling, however. And 269, they're going to be going for the Dragon instead. Not pretty sure this is the best call coming for them. Looks like they're forced to back away from this one as well. IGL losing the fight by just using this 4-1 split push to make 269 find themselves in such difficult positions.
Yeah, and I think you correctly, sort of predicted this in the first 10 minutes of the game. Rune is going to be the one split pushing throughout the game, and to sort of compensate for that sort of burst damage that Rune is not going to be able to provide if they go for the 4-1. Zappy goes for the damage build right here, and he's going to be back in the Dragon Pit once more, out-rotating 269 in this situation and taking away the Dragon. So that's going to be the second Dragon of the game, going over to ISG Legends as well. So just a pretty firm control over the map so far, even though it was 269 that pulled the trigger in the mid lane and they brought LY4 down that situation. And I have to say, Rapier did have a pretty nice soul shackle, 5 men, caught out Zotac 269, bought so much time for Rune to just split push down in the bottom lane.
Now we have 269. They were able to close the goal lead a little bit with the picks in the mid lane, but now this Rune in the bottom lane, he has picked up the Hex Drinker as well. Additional damage, some defensive stats. They're going to be having such a difficult time dealing with him. And now 269, they have to be very decisive with the decision making. Do they defend Rune or do they force the fight onto the opponents? Anytime they just go around and dilly-dally, Rune will be able to put so much pressure in this bottom lane. 269 might end up being forced to make some poor choices. And there we go, once again, it's the Rengar engagement. They go in, the Shockwave completely misses, they go to LY4 instead. The Black Shield right on point. Rapier with the plays out there. Zappy now, the one to be bursted down. He does survive, collateral damage, not enough. It's 269. Are they able to take this one? They started the fight without Chrom, and now they weren't able to finish the members of IGL off.
My goodness, both the Hunters, Kha'Zix and Rengar surviving with less than, I think, 50 HP on both ends here. What a turnaround. Very close fight though, and it was still ISG Legends that came out ahead in that situation. So kind of moving their way down to the mid lane, putting a bit of damage.
Once again, Beyond! But this time he has the Zoya's Hourglass with the last tick of time. Will be able to do it. But IGL, they do get the mid laner of 269, and that is the point man in this case, because 269, they're really slightly lacking in wave clear, and the question now is, will IGL be able to break into their base?
Yeah, all the lanes are pushing in their favor though. If you take a look at the top lane, a massive wave is stacking against Zotac 269 in this situation, and Rune is kind of sticking around in the bottom lane as well.
So now they split 4-1, the 4 members headed up to the top lane. Are they going to go in onto Heaven to just clear out the waves, and this turret will be the next focus? Just playing things a little bit more slowly, just methodically taking apart the map.
Alright, top lane, second tier turret. Still alive and standing for now, but it's going to be one sneeze or a little bit of tickle from IGL that's going to bring that one down. Mid lane, Zotac 269 retreating as well. So now, right now down by about 5,000 gold, but most of the laners have sort of hit their major power spikes. A bit more defensive this time around. Cassidy with Zhonya's Hourglass, Beyond with Zhonya's as well. So not quite the Rabadon's build that we're seeing from game number 1. So a bit more cautious this time around.
The Rand wins almost completed for the Rengar as well. This has been a very poor kitty cat we are having over here.
Yeah.
0-1 and 4. He has the assist, and he hasn't gotten the 6 stacks just yet, because the 6 stacks is what you're looking for, so that you have the additional leap range, and that's when the initiation, the shockwave combo, will be extremely potent.
Yeah. I don't think the stacks play a part for the side quest, right? Do they?
I think you need. I do believe you need a certain number of stacks for it.
I believe it is, level 16 for Kha'Zix and Rengar, and that's where the side quest is gonna pop for itself. Yeah, do correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the requirement.
So, while we try to figure out what was the conditions for the quest, nonetheless it's 30 minutes into the game. This is when the death timer starts to become a little bit more scary. IGL, they see so many people in the bottom lane, and they, in fact, Zed does get a return kill on the ground by IGL. They're going to be going for the Baron itself. 269, they pick up runes, but they're going to be losing the Baron in exchange. So much damage being done by the Baron right now. Are they able to do it? Zappy is dead! Oh, so cold! My goodness! Zappy just bursts right down solo. Now Celebrity on the run. Are they able to land the stuff? Ring of Frost doesn't land, but they do get the ultimate onto the Frozen Tome. Heaven, he gets the leap forward. Will he be able to get the slow? He lands the random moment. Second leap comes in. The Bola Strike not available just yet. Are they going to be going in for Valkyrie? L1 for threatens for the execution, and there we go. Finally, they get a shutdown onto the server. It is a burn, but they lose so many members in exchange. And Zappy still not in the clear just yet. The rest of the team just looping around. Is Rengar finally able to equalize the score? But LF was hiding the brush, but they're recalling on top of a ward. Not sure if this is the best decision. They leap forward, they get a Scuttle Crab. Zappy still is gonna run away from this one. They're just gonna be turning for the Scuttle Crab right now. 269. They're gonna give him a free pass over here.
IG Legends, I know it's Chinese New Year season, but not quite yet. That was a huge gamble this guys took, right, towards the Baron area. So close as well. We almost saw the steal coming out from Zotac 269, and it was IG Legends that still managed to pick it up in the end. And, they lost so many members in the process though. So let's see how Zotac 269 is gonna capitalize off of that. Dragon's gonna come back in about 15 seconds or so. IG Legends making their way around. LY4 still up at the top lane, does have his own teleport though, so if they can buy enough time, they can still make the dragon plays happen.
Oh, are they gonna face Dragon with this one? Zappy immediately gets bursted down, but Rapier there on point with the black shield. Rapier definitely the MVP of this game, just deflecting all the engagements away. My monster is unable to get the Glacier Claw. That is a flash over the wall, and IGL making a few mistakes here and there. Suddenly 269 find themselves in control of the game once again.
Yep, they're gonna move towards the dragon area now. So let's see if IG Legends will be able to challenge for this one. Zerfi has a lot of damage packed on his sleeves, and completing that Phantom Dancer for 16 seconds is gonna land a lot more crits than before. IG Legends coming in on the hunt though.
Is this the dragon mistake once again? Rune goes in, is he able to find the execution? Come on, Shockwave! Celebrity, 2 more attacks are able to pick out Rune. Now Heaven just doing all the damage to the backline. Is he able to find Zappy? Crom now on the chase. Crom! He gets slowed by Zappy, and he will be able to escape away from that one. Suddenly IGL just out of the driver's seat, and 269 is their turn to win all these fights.
Yeah, 3-2 in the favor of Zotac 269, but IG Legends managed to sneak a dragon under the noses of the Vietnamese team this time around. Not too sure what was the case though, but it is still 269 like you mentioned, winning out in the team fights, and I believe that's because of the fact that Tom has hit that level 16 mark. Rod of Ages fully stacked, and a lot more, items coming through.
Valkyrie going for Beyond right now. Will Beyond be able to escape away from this one? Joyous Hour's Glass just popped right now. Not sure if this is the best decision. Zappy coming around from the right side, but there goes Surf. Is he able to save this mid laner? And the answer is no, as Zappy just jumps in, gets the isolation damage, and gets out of there.
Alright, and news about the side quest, the Hunt is on, which we'll get a quick search out there when we kind of had a little break. So you need to have level 16 on Kha'Zix, that 3 stacks of evolution, and 10 stacks on that Golden Tooth necklace in order for that quest to activate. But that was in the older version, so not too sure about the current one so far. But
I do believe it might be the same. Yeah, so it be the 7 right now on the Golden Tooth necklace.
Alright, let's look forward to the quest is on. I mean, the hunt is on. I always love this sort of side quest whenever it happens, and I think, like you mentioned earlier, he does get that 6 stacks coming through from Rengar, so additional leap range.
Okay, so currently the stack things up. Level 14 on Kha'Zix, level 14 on Rengar. 2 more levels to go for both of these junglers. I think about 40 minutes, they would both have hit that point if the game goes that long. But Rune might be executing Heaven over here.
We'll see,
So
we'll see.
Rang got a person, he wants to be fighting Heaven, turns around. In fact, he doesn't even do anything, just falls down to Rune. Now we see the Death Mark onto Chrom instead, and that's going to be not be doing anything. Chrom doesn't even decide to continue with the aggression.
A huge burst damage coming from Rune though.
But the rest of the team is fighting on the sidelines. However, Zappy makes challenge down.
Whoa!
Commercial, it comes down. Collateral damage
Oh,
once
wow.
again. How does he do that? Consistently surviving with the sliver of health.
Well,
The hunt is on.
I have no idea. I really can't pinpoint. Sometimes it's just, you know, you get out alive, and you know he has done that about 2 to 3 times on screen, and really, you know, Lady Luck is just smiling at him today. Maybe it's the chain vest that's kind of helping him out as well. Collateral damage almost finished him off. I think he should be going for the Guardian Angel this time around, and I don't know, maybe he already has the hidden passive of the Guardian Angel. He's been surviving with about 30 HP so far in the game.
So now 269. Oh, Sir gets caught out. Is he going to get bursted down? But the rest of the team is doing a fairly good job of zoning out for him. So IGL are able to break the final frontier of defense of the 6-9 squad. Once again, Rapier with the binding. It says LF4 able to lock him up. It's just low enough. Ring of Frost comes down and Zappy jumps in for the rampage.
Ah, dramatic pause.
Once again, are they going to do it? Is IGL able to secure the victory?
Yeah,
There's what's at stake once again. If 269 are able to win this, they will have a very clear margin over the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. If IGL are able to take this game, they will force a draw, getting 1 point for themselves
and qualify for the next stage.
and qualifying for the next stage.
Yeah, and for Zotac 269, to sort of add on to a point, if they do grab this series from ISG Legends, they will be tied for first place as well. So I mean, there's going to be tomorrow's matches to sort of finalize the standings a little bit, but then again, ISG Legends looking quite good to try to take down the series. About 9,000 goal lead so far against Zotac 269, even though they have been punished a little bit for some of their mispositionings now and then, but I think they're still firmly in control with the objectives that they have taken so far.
I mean, 269 at the moment, they are about 9,000 goal behind.
Oh, here we
IGL,
go.
they've done a fantastic job of getting this goal lead to hit for themselves and play reduce. Is this going to be it? As 5 against 4, are they able to make the power play? Once again, the Dark Bindings have been so on point from Rapier, just landing them twice in a row and Surf, and just not giving 269 any breathing space. In fact, I have to criticize them a little bit. Why has Surf not gone for Mikhail's Crucible? Knowing that the only form of engagement from IGL is the Dark Binding from Rapier or Frozen Tome coming from LY4, both of which can be removed with the Mikhail's Crucible.
Yeah, so I mean, going for that very early Ruby Sidestone instead, and getting that face of the mountain to kind of provide this extra shield, but I don't think it's quite enough to stop the lockdown from ISG Legends. So you might want to consider that very, very quickly. And of course, thinking about Rapier, his own itemization, that Zonia's Hourglass just helping out so much against the collapse that Zotac 269 does have on their own end. And we're kind of talking about the ball delivery system at the start of the game. So far hasn't come into full effect as of yet. So Heaven as well as Beyond, they do really need to coordinate that in a much better fashion.
For starters, Heaven should stop jumping onto LY4.
Oh well, fair enough.
He has been doing that previous few engagements. It has been working out fairly okay for 269. But if he was able to jump on a squishier target that doesn't have a Frozen Tome to give himself invulnerability, I do believe that strategy might be much more potent.
Yeah, I think though is that ISG Legends has been quite, proficient with their positioning. They always know that there's going to be some sort of escape on whoever Heaven's going to jump on. Kha'Zix's just going to jump off the leap, and then Rune's going to dash out using the shadow. The only true target they can really zero on is on Valkyrie, but he's just been so efficient with his positioning, always standing on the back end, and it's going to be quite hard, for Heaven to jump on anyone, to say the least. But if they can somehow create a vision for them to, go onto the blind spot of IG Legends, that's how they're going to win out the team fights. If not, it's just going to be the burst damage from Rune and from Zappy that's just going to take them down continuously.
And this is the thing, it's so scary even though they're 9,000 goal behind at the moment. if they're able to land the wombo combo, that just shows the potency of this strategy. They definitely have drafted a very solid composition for themselves. However, it's rather unfortunate that they find themselves this far behind right now at this stage of the game. So it's up to IGL right now. They have the goal lead in their favor. Are they able to close it out? While they were splitting 4-1, they were just simply tearing apart the 269 squad. And the moment they failed to maintain that 4-1, 269 were able to find their engagers and just simply crash through IGL's main squads.
That's right, and I just want to quickly touch base on some of the items that has been coming out since we do have this pause to sort of break things down a little bit, and it does look like Zotac 269 does have a bit of a disconnect issue right here, and hopefully they will resolve that as quickly as possible. And look at Ruin right here. He's one of the guys that we've been talking about at the start of the best of 2 series, that he's going to be the guy playing a lot of assassins, going to go for a lot of burst damage sort of champions right here, and he's been doing quite well for himself. From the early stages up till now, did give a couple of kills in the first 10 minutes or so, but subsequently has just been a thorn in the eye of Zotac 269. Then more of not that more now completed on his own end as well. So extra magic resistance to deal with both the Cassidin as well as the Orianna pick.
Definitely indeed. So, I mean, we've kind of broken down what's happened already for quite a fair bit over here. I do believe the pause should be still going on for a little bit over here. We have to see what happens though. I mean, IGL, they have been so dominant throughout Group D so far.
Yep.
And they have been playing with a substitute, and suddenly show a few bits of weaknesses here and there. But we have to say, Zappy definitely has stepped up in this game. 5-1 and 5 for the Kazakhs. In fact, going for the Guardian Angel is going to be providing them a lot of ability in this case. And I have to say, I've been rather impressed with Zappy's Kazakhs as a whole.
Yeah, and sort of, fulfilling his role as a substitute against Hallelujah in the situation. Vastly different play styles as, when you watch Hallelujah play. Right now, his current focus is on snowballing his lanes in the early stages, but for Zappy, not as proactive as Hallelujah in this situation, but still gets the job done, and that's just a beauty to watch. And I think the biggest thing to watch for ISG Legends as they move on, if they do pick up the victory tonight against Zotac 269, is how they're gonna match up against the bigger teams from Group A, Group C, and Group B as well, because they are the guys who are the big players, right? So far, a lot of people have been sort of saying that IG Legend may be playing against softer rosters, the bottom tier teams of for Zotac 269 and from Kuala Hunters and K-Fangs Bai as well. So that's gonna be the true test for them, the big boys, and how they have improved. But I have to say, they are one of the teams that have been impressing me so far in terms of how they have changed in the recent few weeks, and they are now a team who not only knows how to outplay their opponents in terms of superior mechanics, but also how to group up together as 5 and make the objective game count.
And what I have been seeing, however, is that IGL, they have shown more strategic coherency as a whole. But the issue here is that in terms of tactical execution, they aren't just there just yet. I mean, we saw them, they went for certain things. I like the 4-1 idea. It was good. It was executed well to some extent, but it could have definitely happened better. Now they started with the Baron over here. 269 then looping around from the right side. The Zed still split pushing once against the wrong member of 269 being sent to view the Zed. Oh, IGL, they should be able to force this, and we see the Zed looping around. He's going to be able to find the collapse now.
Oh, they're going to out-rotate Zotac 269 this situation. Beyond is nowhere near the Baron Pit, and
they're just waiting for Beyond right now. IGL, the lander finally gonna cross once again! But this time he has the Zhonya's to save himself. He will be able to escape away from that one. And where is the Zed? And in fact, the catch out Rune over there. The exhaust has dropped onto him, and they will be able to burst in. Celebrity will survive now from half health!
Is that even possible? That is unreal, man.
There is just so much damage on the Zed. Currently, before that, he was at 8 kills. Now he's at 9. 4 items on the Zed. Last Whisper, more than Marmoritus. Oh, it's a mouthful to say.
I'm just gonna call it the ball.
As well as the Blood of the Rune King. So much damage and burst coming from the Zed. Immediately taking down Celebrity. So the heal was used. Exhaust was used on top of that. And he just ate through all of the defense.
The Celebrity definitely needs to reconsider his itemization right now. No armor whatsoever. Rune, it's just so unreal, seeing that Death Mark just pop down towards Celebrity and bringing him down to about half health or so. And
looks like it's back to us. And we have run into some technical issues. I think the 269 squad have some issues connecting back to the game, so we're gonna be headed for a short break.
Every child in Valorant has heard the tale before about the cursed mummy boy who felt his heart no more. So sad and lorn, the helpless lad, Amumu was his name. He ventured out to find a friend and learn about his bane. For many years, young Amumu traveled through the lands, determined to make friends if only they would understand. But even when Amumu stood upon the ledge of home, his hope would disappoint him and he would remain alone. But then the curse began to whisper in his ear. It would confirm what was Amumu's biggest fear. It pledged that never shall someone become his friend. It pledged that he shall be alone until his end. But sorrow and despair became too much to bear. The moment when Amumu realized what he had done, too late it was for him, for them, the evil curse had won. The anger and the anguish overwhelmed his fragile soul and caused a wicked tantrum that he never could control.
Wow, banana.
Yeah, I have something to show you later.
What is he going to show me? Oh my god, is he going to propose? He brought me to such a romantic restaurant and told me he had something to show me. He must be proposing. Oh my god, he's getting down on his knees. Oh my god. sneaky. He must have hidden the ring somewhere. Let me see. Where? Must be in the cake. Oh my god, must be in the cake. Eat it, Christian. Eat it now and you're engaged. Must be the wrong cake.
Hey dear, relax. I can buy you another cake. Don't need to do this to my cake. It's my cake.
So what? What are you gonna show me?
Relax. It's just a magic trick that I learned. I show you. See lock. Cannot come out. Magic. 仔 right? Come out already, 仔. Hey, where you going?
Hey, look at her. I bet she thought that he was gonna propose. Crazy.
Uh-huh.
Are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, babe. I hiked all day. I'm really tired.
Excuse me? I'm gonna go to ladies. Oh, are you okay? My husband said he was tired. He said he was tired. I'm so sorry to hear that. Excuse me, what did he say?
So here we are, summoners back into the game. Play has resumed, and we have to see if 269 will be able to hold on. And in fact, Silk has fallen once again. So they lose Celebrity, they lose So, and they lose Beyond, as well as 3 members down. IGL just charging into the base right now. They have the man advantage. Are they able to make the power play?
Right, will this end as soon as he has begun from the pause once again? ISG Legends gonna march down towards the mid lane right here. Are they gonna end the game? Because now I'm not too sure. It's gonna be From as well as Heaven, the only 2 members left standing. Everyone kiting around to the side though.
Are they gonna be able to do this? Lock up from that section start. Number 1, 269 still on the ropes. Surf will be spotting in another 5 seconds. But looks like we will not be able to see the on the hunt mechanic this time around. Level 15 Ranga, level 15 Kazik, so close.
Yeah.
So close. And
I mean, you know, Heaven doesn't have 10 stacks.
I think, yeah, Heaven also lacks 2 more stacks.
Yeah. Would have loved to see that though. That's one of the best things to see in competitive League of Legends, right? When all this like side quests pops up from God itself. So the Frail Lord quest as well, there's gonna be the quest for Frail Lord when you have like the 3 queens, the 3 sisters fighting against each other.
Definitely. I'm not sure if that quest still pops up.
It does.
Oh, it still does pop up, is it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the conditions are. I mean, it's not like a super game-changing like quest.
That only gives cosmetic changes, but in this case, what happens is that Kha'Zix against Ranga, it actually affects the stats in game.
Yep.
Because if Ranga wins against the hit of Kha'Zix, and if Kha'Zix wins against the 4th evolution stack.
Yeah, and the 4th evolution, I mean, just 3 evolutions itself is pretty disgusting to deal with, and then just having 4 is just way worse to think about it.
Oh, there we go. It's the engagement. Root doing so much damage. There we go. Celebrity. Oh, Root is able to get it. One last auto attack. We'll be able to do it. He just presses the R button once again. Rapier dealing so much damage. Here comes Zappy. Jumps into the backline. It's a double kill. Come on, Shockwave. And that is going to be it. It's going to be the ace, and that should be game. Triple kill onto Zappy's Kha'Zix.
Try this up, fulfilling his conditions right here. Getting the final evolution as well, and it is going to be all 5 members of ISG Legends still alive, and all 5 members of Zotac 269 down as well as the Ruin kind of dancing around the inhibitor area. I mean, the Nexus turret area, and that is going to be it. So ISG Legends, GG, they are going to draw out this series 1-1 against Zotac 269 and earn their position into the next stage of the group stages.
Congratulations to ISG Legends. They have been able to secure this one and final point they needed to secure their berth into the next stages of the GPL, and they managed to do it over here against Zotac 269. So this is the score screen: 8-1 and 5 on Zappy, 1, 3, and 10 on LY4. It's the first time actually I do believe I've seen him die more than once actually. He's currently leading the stats chart on the GPL because he just doesn't die so much. And in this game, in fact, 3 deaths is quite a fair bit for LY4's Lissandra.
Yeah, that's right. But I have to say though, IG Legends kind of struggling a little bit in the early stages, but then just coming back into the game with a couple of quirky rotational plays, getting the dragon, getting the split push, and all this sort of stuff, and just throwing Zotac 269 off their orientation. So congratulations to you guys. You will move on to the next session. You will lock your position in as well. So coming up right next is going to be Kuala Lumpur Hunters going up against Bizarro K, thanks by another team that has been struggling to secure the position right here. So we'll have to see if Kuala Lumpur Hunters can sort of pull their position towards Zotac 269 a little closer right after this, of course. So don't go away. We'll be coming right back.